Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Talking Practice. I'm Lily, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm David. Hey everyone, we have such a perfect topic for this time of year.
We really do. Today, we're talking about how to discuss your year in English. As we approach the end of the year, this is such a common conversation topic.
Absolutely. Whether you're reflecting on your accomplishments, discussing challenges, or sharing experiences with friends and family, knowing how to talk about your year is essential.
By the end of this episode, you'll have all the vocabulary and phrases you need to describe your year, express feelings about it, and engage in meaningful year-end conversations.
This is perfect for New Year conversations, year-end reviews at work, or just catching up with friends and family.
Before we reflect on today's lesson, don't forget to subscribe to English Talking Practice and hit that notification bell.
All right, Lily, let's start with the basics. How do people typically ask about someone's year?
Great question. The most common questions are, how was your year? Or, how has your year been? These are simple and open-ended.
Right. You might also hear, what kind of year did you have? Or, how would you describe your year? Or, looking back, how was this year for you?
And a popular one at year-end is, can you believe the year is almost over? Or, where did the year go? These express surprise at how quickly time passed.
Exactly. Now, how do we respond to these questions? Let's start with general responses.
If it was a good year, you might say, it was a great year, or it was really good, or I had a wonderful year, or it was one of the best years I've had.
For a mixed year, it was a mixed year, or it had its ups and downs, or there were good parts and challenging parts, or it was okay, nothing special.
If it was difficult, you might say, it was a tough year, or it was challenging, or honestly, it was a difficult year, or it was rough, but I made it through.
And if it went by quickly, it flew by, which means it passed very fast. Or I can't believe it's already over. Or time really flew this year.
Perfect. Now let's talk about specific areas of life people discuss when reflecting on their year. What's the first area?
Let's start with work and career. This is a big one for many people. You might say, career-wise, it was a good year. Or professionally, I had some growth.
For positive work experiences, you might say, I got a promotion this year, or I started a new job, or I completed some major projects, or I received a raise.
You could say, I learned a lot in my position, or I took on more responsibilities, or I improved my skills, or I achieved my work goals.
For challenges at work, you might say, work was stressful this year, or I struggled with work-life balance, or I faced some difficult projects, or it was demanding but rewarding.
For career changes, you might say, I changed careers this year, or I left my old job and started something new, or I went back to school, or I started my own business.
Great examples. Now let's talk about personal relationships, family, friends, and romantic relationships.
Right. For positive relationship experiences, you might say, I got married this year, or I got engaged, or I made some great new friends, or my relationships grew stronger.
You might say, I spent more quality time with family, or I reconnected with old friends, or I deepened my friendships, or I met someone special.
For family milestones, you might say, my child was born this year, or my kids started school, or we became grandparents, or my sibling got married.
For challenges, you might say, I lost someone close to me this year, or relationships were difficult, or I went through a breakup, or family dynamics were challenging.
Now let's talk about health and wellness, physical and mental health.
For positive health experiences, you might say, I focused on my health this year, or I started exercising regularly, or I lost weight, or I ran my first marathon.
You might say, I improved my mental health, or I started seeing a therapist, or I practiced meditation daily, or I prioritized self-care.
For health challenges, you might say, I dealt with some health issues this year, or I had surgery, or I struggled with my mental health, or it was hard to stay consistent with fitness.
You could also say, I recovered from an injury, or I managed a chronic condition, or I learned to listen to my body better.
Perfect. Now let's discuss financial matters. People often reflect on their financial year.
Right. For positive financial experiences, you might say, I saved money this year, or I paid off debt, or I made some good investments, or I got my finances organized.
You might say, I bought my first home this year, or I started investing, or I increased my income, or I created a budget and stuck to it.
For financial challenges, you might say, money was tight this year, or I struggled financially, or I accumulated some debt, or I had unexpected expenses.
You could say, I'm working on improving my financial situation, or I learned valuable lessons about money management.
Now let's talk about personal growth and learning, education, hobbies, skills.
For learning experiences, you might say, I learned a new skill this year, or I took up a new hobby, or I completed a course, or I earned a certification.
You might say, I started learning Spanish, or I took cooking classes, or I learned to play guitar, or I read 50 books this year.
For personal development, you might say, I worked on myself this year, or I grew as a person, or I became more confident, or I discovered new passions.
You could say, I challenged myself to try new things, or I stepped out of my comfort zone, or I developed better habits.
Great! Now let's discuss travel and experiences.
For travel, you might say, I traveled a lot this year, or I visited 5 new countries, or I took my dream vacation, or I explored my own city more.
You might say, I went on an amazing trip to Japan, or I visited family overseas, or I had some incredible adventures, or I experienced new cultures.
For memorable experiences, you might say, I attended a music festival, or I saw my favorite band in concert, or I tried skydiving, or I had so many memorable moments.
Now let's discuss major life changes and transitions.
These are big events. You might say, I moved to a new city this year, or I relocated for work, or I bought a house, or I moved in with my partner.
For major transitions, you might say, I graduated from university, or I retired this year, or I had my first child, or I became an empty nester.
You could also say, this year was full of changes, or I went through some major life transitions, or everything changed for me this year.
Perfect. Now let's practice everything with a full dialogue. This is where we put it all together.
Sounds good.
Hey, David, it's so good to see you. I feel like we haven't caught up in months.
I know, it's been way too long. I can't believe the year is almost over. Where did the time go?
Right? It absolutely flew by. So tell me, how was your year? What kind of year did you have?
You know, overall, it was a really good year. It definitely had its ups and downs, but looking back, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. What about you?
That's great to hear. My year was pretty similar, a mixed bag, but mostly positive. So what were some of the highlights for you?
Well, the biggest thing was probably my career. I got a promotion in March, which was amazing. I'd been working toward it for a while, so it felt really rewarding.
David, that's fantastic. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. What's your new role?
Thanks. I'm now the senior project manager. It came with more responsibilities, but also a nice raise, which definitely helps. The first few months were pretty stressful as I adjusted, but now I'm settling in.
That's wonderful. A promotion and a raise? That's a great achievement. How are you handling the extra responsibilities?
It was challenging at first, honestly. I struggled with work-life balance for a while. I was working long hours, bringing work home, feeling overwhelmed. But around mid-year, I realized I needed to set better boundaries.
Good for you. That's such an important realization. Are you managing better now?
Much better. I started delegating more, saying no to non-essential meetings, and actually leaving work at work. It made a huge difference in my stress levels.
That's really impressive. Self-awareness and boundary setting are so important. What else happened this year?
Let's see. Oh, I finally started prioritizing my health. At the beginning of the year, I joined a gym and committed to working out 3 times a week.
That's amazing. Have you been able to stick with it?
Yeah, surprisingly. There were some weeks where I fell off track, but overall I've been pretty consistent. I've lost about 15 pounds, and I feel so much better physically and mentally.
Wow, 15 pounds? That's significant. You must feel great about that accomplishment.
I do. It wasn't just about the weight, though. I have more energy, I sleep better, and exercise has become a stress reliever for me. It really improved my overall well-being.
That's wonderful, David. I'm so proud of you. What about your personal life? How was that aspect of the year?
Personal life was pretty good. I spent more quality time with family this year. My parents are going older, and I made it a priority to visit them more often, at least once a month instead of just on holidays.
That's really special. I'm sure they appreciated that so much.
They did. And honestly, I cherished that time too. You never know how much time you have, you know? Oh, and my sister had a baby in August, so I became an uncle.
Oh my gosh, congratulations, Uncle David. That's so exciting. How's the baby?
He's adorable. His name's Oliver. I never thought I'd be the type to get excited about a baby, but I'm completely in love with this little guy. I visit my sister every other weekend just to see him.
That's so sweet. Becoming an aunt or uncle really does change you. What about friendships and your social life?
That's actually an area I want to improve next year. With the promotion and everything else, I didn't maintain friendships as well as I should have. I saw friends less frequently than I wanted to.
Well, we're here now, right? Better late than never. Was there anything challenging about the year besides the initial work stress?
Yeah, actually. I went through a breakup in May. That was pretty tough. We'd been together for 2 years.
Oh, David, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know. Are you doing okay?
I am now, thanks. It was hard at first, definitely my lowest point of the year. But looking back, it was the right decision for both of us. We wanted different things. And honestly, I've grown a lot from that experience.
That's a really healthy perspective. It takes maturity to see the growth in difficult situations. Did you do anything to help yourself through that time?
I actually started seeing a therapist, which was incredibly helpful. I'd never been to therapy before, but it gave me tools to process my emotions and work through things. I'm still going, actually.
Good for you. There's no shame in getting professional help. If anything, it shows strength to acknowledge when you need support.
Exactly. I wish I'd done it sooner, honestly. It's been one of the best decisions I made this year. Anyway, enough about me. Tell me about your year. What were your highlights?
Well, my year was pretty eventful too. The biggest thing was that I changed careers completely.
What? Really? I didn't know you were thinking about that. Tell me everything.
Yeah, it was a big decision. You know, I'd been working in accounting for 5 years, and I just felt stuck. I wasn't passionate about it anymore. So at the beginning of the year, I decided to pursue my real passion, graphic design.
Wow, Lily, that's a huge change. That must have been scary.
It was terrifying. I enrolled in an intensive design boot camp that ran from February to May. I was working full-time and studying at night and on weekends. It was exhausting.
That sounds intense. But you finished the program?
I did. I graduated in May, and then I spent the summer building my portfolio while still working at my accounting job. In September, I finally took the leap and quit to become a freelance graphic designer.
That's incredible, Lily. How brave of you. How's it going?
Honestly, it's been amazing and terrifying at the same time. The first month was really slow. I was panicking about money and wondering if I had made a huge mistake. But then I started getting clients, and now I'm actually busier than I want to be.
That's fantastic. You're doing what you love and it's working out. How do you feel about the change?
I feel so much happier. I wake up excited to work, which never happened in accounting. Sure, freelancing has its challenges. Income isn't as stable, and I have to handle everything myself, but the freedom and creative fulfillment make it worth it.
I'm so happy for you. That takes real courage. What else happened this year?
Let's see. Oh, I traveled quite a bit. I took advantage of freelancing flexibility and went to Portugal for 2 weeks in October. It was my first solo trip.
Solo trip to Portugal. That sounds amazing. How was it?
It was one of the best experiences of my life. I was nervous about traveling alone, but it was so empowering. I explored at my own pace, met interesting people, and really discovered a lot about myself. I also visited my college roommate in Seattle, went to my cousin's wedding in Austin, and took a weekend trip to the mountains. I feel like I really made the most of the year in terms of experiences.
You definitely did. What about relationships? Any romantic developments?
Actually, yes. I started dating someone in November. It's still pretty new, but it's going really well so far. His name's Michael, and we met through mutual friends.
That's exciting. I'm happy for you. What's he like?
He's really kind and supportive. He's a teacher, so he's patient and understanding. We have a lot in common, but also challenge each other. It's refreshing after some not-so-great relationships in the past.
Sounds promising. I hope it continues to go well. Were there any challenges in your year besides the initial work stress?
Yeah, actually, I struggled with my mental health a bit, especially during the transition period. There were moments of anxiety and self-doubt. I questioned whether I was making the right decision, whether I was good enough, all of that.
That's completely understandable given such a big life change. How did you cope?
I leaned on my support system. Family and friends were amazing. I also started journaling, which really helped me process my thoughts and feelings. And I practiced a lot of self-compassion, reminding myself that it's okay to struggle.
Those are great coping strategies. It sounds like you handled it really well.
Thanks. I also had some financial stress. Going from a steady paycheck to variable freelance income was an adjustment. I had to be really careful with budgeting, and I dipped into my savings a bit.
But you're managing now?
Yeah, the last couple of months have been better financially. I'm rebuilding my emergency fund and starting to feel more secure. It's taught me a lot about financial planning and being prepared for uncertainty.
That's a valuable lesson. So, looking back at the whole year, how do you feel about it?
Honestly, I feel really proud of myself. I took risks, I grew so much, I pursued what I wanted instead of staying comfortable. It wasn't perfect, and there were really hard moments, but I wouldn't change it.
You should be proud. You accomplished so much, and I feel the same way about my year. It had challenges, but I learned and grew from them.
We've both had pretty transformative years. So what about next year? Do you have any goals or resolutions?
I do. I want to maintain the work-life balance I created. I want to continue prioritizing my health and fitness, and I really want to invest more in friendships, make more time for the people that matter.
Those are great goals. What about professionally?
Professionally, I want to excel in my new role and maybe take on a special project that excites me, but not at the expense of my personal life this time. What about you?
I want to grow my freelance business, but in a sustainable way. I want to be selective with clients and projects. I also want to continue traveling. I'm thinking about doing another solo trip to Japan.
Japan would be amazing. Any other goals?
I want to deepen my existing relationships and continue prioritizing my mental health. And maybe pick up a new hobby. I'm thinking about trying pottery.
Pottery sounds fun. I love that we're both being intentional about next year.
Me too. I think this year taught us both what's really important. Here's to next year being even better.
I'll drink to that. Thanks for catching up, Lily. This conversation was really meaningful.
Agreed. Let's not wait so long next time. Happy New Year, David.
Happy New Year, Lily.
Wow, that was a comprehensive conversation about the year.
It really was. We covered so many aspects: career, health, relationships, personal growth, challenges, and future goals.
And we naturally used different tenses: past simple for completed events, present perfect for experiences that continue to matter, and future forms for next year's plans.
Exactly. Now let's do a quick recap of the most important vocabulary and phrases.
Perfect. Number 1, asking about the year. How was your year? What kind of year did you have? Looking back, how was this year?
Number 2, general responses. It was a great year. It had its ups and downs. It was challenging but rewarding. Time flew by.
Number 3, career and work. I got a promotion. I changed careers. I achieved my work goals. Work was stressful.
Number 4, relationships. I got married. I made new friends. I spent quality time with family. I went through a breakup.
Number 5, health and wellness. I focused on my health. I started exercising. I prioritized self-care. I improved my mental health.
Number 6, financial. I saved money. I paid off debt. I bought a home. Money was tight this year.
Number 7, personal growth. I learned a new skill. I grew as a person. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I challenged myself.
Number 8, travel and experiences. I traveled a lot. I had incredible adventures. I visited new places. I tried new things.
Number 9, emotions. I'm grateful. I'm proud of myself. I'm hopeful about next year. I'm at peace with how things turned out.
And number 10, future goals. My goal for next year is I want to focus on, I'm setting achievable goals, I'm committing to.
Excellent recap. Now let's practice pronunciation of some key phrases.
Repeat after us. Accomplishment. Accomplishment. 4 syllables. Means something you achieved.
Challenging. Challenging. 3 syllables means difficult.
Grateful. Grateful. 2 syllables means thankful.
Transition. 3 syllables means change or shift.
Resolution. Resolution. 4 syllables means a goal or promise for the new year.
Reflect. 2 syllables means to think back on something.
Achievement. Achievement. 3 syllables, similar to accomplishment.
Now let's cover common mistakes when talking about your year.
Mistake number 1, using present tense for past events. Say, I traveled to Japan, not I traveled to Japan, when talking about this past year.
Mistake number 2, forgetting time markers. Include this year, in March, at the beginning of the year, to be specific.
Mistake number 3, being too vague. Instead of it was good, add details like it was good because I achieved my work goals.
Mistake number 4, only focusing on negative or only positive. A balanced perspective sounds more authentic.
Mistake number 5, using since incorrectly. Since is for starting points. I've been working here since January, not I worked here since January.
Great reminders. Now some bonus phrases for year-end conversations.
For nostalgia, remember when earlier this year, back in January, that feels like ages ago.
For surprise, I can't believe it's been a year already. The year went by so fast. It feels like just yesterday.
For lessons learned, this year taught me, I learned that, the biggest lesson was, if I could do it over.
For gratitude, I'm thankful for, I appreciate, I'm blessed that I had the opportunity to, I'm grateful I had the opportunity to.
For closure, I'm ready to leave this year behind. I'm looking forward to a fresh start. Out with the old, in with the new.
These are all really helpful. All right, everyone, time for our question of the day.
Today's question is, what was your biggest accomplishment this year and what do you hope to achieve next year? Practice answering in English.
This is great practice for using past tense to describe achievements and future forms for goals. Be specific and detailed.
You might say, my biggest accomplishment was graduating from university. Next year, I hope to find a job in my field and start my career.
Or, I'm most proud of running my first marathon. Next year, I want to improve my time and maybe try a triathlon.
Practice your answer and leave it in the comments. We love hearing about your achievements and goals.
All right, everyone, time to close out this episode. Thank you so much for joining us to learn about discussing your year in English.
We hope you feel confident reflecting on your year and sharing your experiences.
Don't forget to subscribe to English Talking Practice and turn on notifications.
Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful.
Share it with friends who are learning English.
And leave comments about your year. We'd love to hear your stories.
Remember, reflecting on your year is valuable not just for English practice, but for personal growth. Take time to acknowledge your achievements and learn from challenges.
And when setting goals for next year, be kind to yourself. Progress matters more than perfection.
From both of us here at English Talking Practice, we want to thank you for being part of our community this year.
We're so grateful for every subscriber, every comment, and every person who practices English with us.
Here's to an amazing new year filled with growth, learning, and wonderful English conversations.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Happy New Year, everyone!
Goodbye and happy learning.